Hi, Jen Gilchrist here with another weekly Oracle card reading for the week of, where are we at? December 30th through January 5th. Oh my goodness, we're already moving into the new year. I can't believe it. I'm going to be working with the Energy Oracle by Sandra Ann Taylor. Again, another deck I have not used in a long time. This whole month, I guess it was like, let's work with ones, bring back the oldies but goodies. Okay, so let's take a look and see what is for the week ahead that is coming up. And a quick reminder today, no, on the 31st, actually, depending on when you're seeing this, you'll want to check out the retreat details if you have been thinking about joining, because you can secure the best pricing and have the longest months of time to be able to have a lower monthly payment if that's something that you need. Ending on December 31st. So I would love you to check out the details for either Mount Shasta or Swimming with the Whales. I also have a online half-day retreat, soul planning retreat. It's a brand new one I haven't done before. It came through in meditation. We'll be setting the energy. We will be looking at channeled messages and energy intentions together as a group, which is going to be amazing. Okay, so check the details for that. It's 50% off right now until January 9th. Okay, the indecision. Okay, I love this. So basically, we've been kind of talking about this, I think, most of the month. Like, reflect, making sure if you haven't spent time to reflect, which has been kind of the message of the month, in all the different readings. It's like spending that time internally to decide what is it that you really want to experience? What do you really desire? What do you want to bring in, right? Some of you know and have some fear holding you back. And underneath the indecision, which is this card, is fear. Lack of clarity is fear. Indecision is fear. Indecision is a choice. Indecision is an action. Not taking action is an action, right? Which isn't going to lead to what you want. So it looks like you have a fork in the road, and it's time to decide and take an action. Now, here's the thing. You can always change your mind, right? But no action, like the clarity comes in the action. Sometimes after you take that first step, the resistance starts to release away. Sometimes as you take the step, you realize, oh, that's not quite right. Or, oh, yes, this is right. And I took my first step and I started to shift the fear already just by taking action. Inaction will make you in your head, in your mind, in your fears, in your doubts. And it's an action, because a lot of people can spend their whole life not taking action towards their dreams. And you're being called. I see so much spiritual support, and I always see the birds, which reminds me of like spiritual support, even like your loved ones on the other side, potentially. But it's about making a choice. And I see 8, which always references towards abundance for me. So it's like, and it's also could be indicative of which timeline are you choosing, right? Are you the high road, or are you going to be repeating things that you've been stuck in for a while, right? This lifetime. So big changes are ahead if you take action towards them. 5th chakra, Archangel Gabriel. Oh, I love this. I love Archangel Gabriel, messenger angel. And this is about speaking your truth. So maybe you have to speak your truth or share your truth. It could be about moving through any visibility fears, about sharing your message or sharing your story, or being visible with your spiritual business or some kind of offering that you have. It could be about speaking your truth with somebody else, creating a boundary. Could be about being honest with yourself, right? Our throat chakra also is that connection to our inner voice. And so this is about being true to thyself and noticing if you have any blocks there. And again, not speaking your truth, not taking action, all that starts to block up the creativity and doesn't feel good, right? So it's time to move through the energy and take action. Financial constraints. I know I know how. Trust me, I've been I've been on all sides of the money has been a part of my lifetime in this one for sure. So I get that sometimes the financial stuff can be like so in your face, but if we don't take new action, or if we don't choose to change it, we'll just keep repeating the same pattern. Sometimes I hear people say, well, once this happens, then I'll do this, right? But usually it's like kind of backwards, right? Nothing's going to change if we don't take new action. Einstein, I believe, said what's the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting to get a different answer. It's kind of like that, right? Sometimes you have to take a leap of faith on yourself, especially for those of you who feel called to do a business. That there's a level of course, I'm not saying just like quit everything. Some people might be called to just quit their job and go. And so for some people that might not be right. It might put them into survival. So I'm not suggesting that, but I am saying taking an action and direction. For me, I was self-employed and went into industry for a long time. And then I started working, instead of 5 days a week, I'd worked 4, and I did 1 for my spiritual work. And then I started working only 3. And then I started working 2 in my spiritual work, right? I started just like progressively going putting more time towards it, but nothing changed for many years, many years. I was thinking about that business, but didn't take action. Same with like spending money on things that are going to support you, whether that's getting support or healing or coaching or training or, you know, yeah, anything that is going to support your higher path and purpose is always there for you. Sometimes you got to just leap and the net will appear if you feel really guided towards something. Um, so it looks like you feel it could feel in a box or boxed in due to finances, but with money, you really you have to change it's not luck, right? We have to change our own story. We have to change our energy and one step at a time. It doesn't have to be a big step, but it's going to feel sometimes scary. And that's probably what's leading to this indecision. And so for me, I always just know I've kind of built the muscle slowly but surely, with the small things day to day, asking your spiritual support to guide you each day. What next step can I take to align with such and such? When I first manifested my first spiritual retreat to swim with the wild dolphins, this is in like 2009. I had known about, I kind of recently awakened about a year before, started taking classes, and I really wanted to go on this. I saw this poster to like swim with the wild dolphins, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to do that. My whole body got excited. But I wasn't raised, with going on family vacations. I don't think I'd even, not sure, maybe been on a plane once in my life, but not on a family vacation, right? It was of my own accord. So it was like I wasn't used to that, right? But I asked my angels and guides, like, how can this happen? And they kept telling me they told me what to do, put my cash from my weddings into a box. And at the end, if I have the money, go for it. Well, I did buy the early bird special. But when I went to hand it over again, I got riddled with fear and indecision. I was holding the money and I didn't want to let it go. And I realized it was because what would my parents think? What would so and so think? Well, how irresponsible, like all the voices in my head is what was stopping me from making the decision and taking the action. Right. Until I did it. And then once I did it, it's like, oh my gosh, I've just been traveling ever since. And so sometimes you just got to face the fear head on and do it, trust the process. And now I know that I'm always going to be supported. I know that I can create whatever I want. I know that I'm always supported, especially with those things we can create whatever we want, whether it's good for us or not. But when we're working with our spirit guides and with source, the universe directly, it's like, especially when something is leading us in the direction of our dreams and our higher path or higher purpose and going to be supportive to us, there's always a way. There's always a way. So, anyways, that's what's coming through here. Maybe one more message from Archangel Purmilik. Let's see. Oh, let nature soothe you, serve the nature kingdom. And I think we've seen that all month, right? So I think it's just like use this winter time to rest and rejuvenate and to take some time in meditation and reflection and ask, what next step does my soul have for me today? What next step can I take today? Invite your angels, your guides, your spiritual support, and give the time to listen and to hear and to reflect what those answers are. And they're going to come to you through your spiritual gifts that we all have. Our intuition is how we can understand and interpret, right? The messages that are coming to us. But if we're not quiet enough, our mind, our busyness, our mental and our emotional is louder. And so then we can't hear the voice of our own soul or the voice of source. So take the time for yourself and check out if it feels exciting to work energy and set the intention together. Group energy work is so powerful. So I'm leading my first online half-day retreat. Actually came to me, a soul expansion planning session. It's going to be filled with intention setting, practical usage, so you can walk away with action steps as well as channeled messages and activations and all the things to really set up 2025. And then of course I have my Mount Shasta retreat, 5-day retreat in May. You'll want to check out. We have a couple, we have some specials going on that you'll want to check out. The best special ends on the 31st. But there'll still be sign up. You can reserve this special limited time pricing with the extra bonuses of the 4 workshops by just a $300 deposit, or the 8-day Mo-orea swim with the humpback whales. So check it out, and I'll look forward to talking with you soon. Bye for now.